Hello everybody, this is Blake Cross EXE, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Alright, we're continuing with the case of the Steel Samurai. We just had the information that some fanboys were sneaking into the studio, and there was one that reportedly got in on the day of the murder. But we don't know who this boy is, and we don't know what he looks like, because they deleted the picture because it didn't look suspicious according to Miss Oldbag. So let's continue on and see where this case gets us. October 18th. 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant, Lobby number 3. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio? I didn't go to the studio! I was sleeping, honest. Then who was in the Steel Samurai in the security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of your stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone wanting to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? Doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick! What are you going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could have conceivably done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. You don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on the matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing's changed. The other person who went into the studio was a boy roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence. But there's still no one else who could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts? The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order! Interesting. Let's hear who you have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes were high enough already. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder? Well, let's try the assistant girl. It was the assistant. The Steel Samurai costume was in his dressing room. She stole it, and in doing so, she became Steel Samurai. So you're saying the Steel Samurai in the picture is really the assistant? That's correct, Your Honor. Their sizes don't match. If you're serious, you've got guts, Mr. Wright. Remember the photo. Wasn't the Steel Samurai a little lame? He was dragging his foot. Oh. Bad feeling time. Remember the testimony concerning Powers' injury. Powers and poor Hamo were having a run-through. Oh, and me. What about the assistant? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. Ah, right. So that just leaves her. The assistant knew nothing of Mr. Powers' injury. She could look the Steel Samurai look with that costume. But she couldn't walk the Steel Samurai walk. She wouldn't have lipped. That kind of takes the legs out from under this case. Mr. Wright, I'm afraid I have to penalize you as I warned. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Maybe we move on, Mr. Wright. This fight isn't over yet. If you would, Your Honor, one more chance, please. Very well, go ahead. So who was the person other than Mr. Powers who could have committed the murder? It would have to be the security lady, because she knew about it, and she doesn't really like Powers. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in the picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they've been watching the action scene run through? There was only one other person besides Powers and Hammer who knew about this injury. The security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper! Order! Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left the post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. And slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. But why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in this costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. Or Sherlock Holmes the second. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump onto an objection with some new damning evidence? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have any opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What was that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it? Is that it? Hey, boy, don't just sit there. Do something.
What's my move? Now, maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Let's press a little bit further. The very same reasoning makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case. Can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forgot that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That's it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased.
Only a grade schooler, though, as you said. Second or third grade, was it?
That doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy is not the killer.
What? How could you be so sure? Oh, is this just being nice to kids and mean to your Elder's Day? Whippersnapper.
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows that the boy could not have committed the murder? Yeah, let's take a look at the map.
Take that!
This is my proof. Nope, sorry. Whoops. Okay, it would have been the card key, because you need that to get into the studio. The scene of the murder, as you all know, was studio number 1. However, you need a card key to enter the studio. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key? I see. Well, will the witness care to comment on this? The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Very well. The court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What's her name? It's pronounced Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned. Whew. Okay, so yeah, we managed to buy a little more time.
Wait a second. I'm not gonna just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me. I'm talking.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what's this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually, if you must know, there's something that I was told not to talk about.
Not to talk about? By whom?
Huh.
You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. They were some other people at the studio on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend that they hadn't been at the studio that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free.
Okay. Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now?
Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my strap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. All right, let's see what we got. All right, Edgeworth, you and me. We'll do this one-on-one. What do they want you to keep quiet about? You were told not to talk?
That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. Some other people at the studio.
Yeah, who are these other people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director? We should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course!
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2?
Well, if you look at the guide map, there it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head has fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue your cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... Continue the cross-examination. Nick, one back scheme secrets. This much information. Okay, yeah. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder.
I know that, silly. Still, they're pretty convincing about not having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus, and yet you still talked. I think that's all the questions I have to ask. So, let's take a break for a little bit. Your Honor, we have learned that there were others at the Global Studio on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. And yet we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we've just been told of. Edgeworth looks ready to explode. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings and the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. The court is adjourned. October 18th, 1:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing.
Oh, or should I say... We'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and the producer. They'll be turning up for the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material from our cross-examination. So, Nick, have you figured out just who was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been the old windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old windbag. Kind of feel sorry for her. Don't. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, or with or without that, my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you real soon. Thanks, guys. To be continued. Insert JoJo reference here. That would be a good place to take a break, but this episode hasn't been going on very long. I kind of stopped it at a bad place. I should have waited until we actually got done there. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and save, and we're going to continue for a little bit longer before we call this episode quits. October 18th, Wright & Co. Law Offices. Whew, what a day. There's no time for relaxing, Nick. So, you think WP's actually got a chance? I guess it really depends on the people we found out about in today's trial. The director and the producer? Yeah, them. Well, what are we doing here then? Let's get to the studios. Alright, let's move. Main gate of the studio. October 18th, 2:16 p.m. Global Studios main gate. No one's here. Right, now that they have Miss Oldbag in custody, I guess they don't have anyone else to replace her. Hey, there's the guard station. Look, she left her donuts. What? I wasn't going to eat them. Oh yeah, didn't you say, or not Maya, didn't you say that you have, like, a different stomach for each different kind of food item? Or has that not been brought up yet? I don't remember. Alright, let's go to outside Studio 1, because we need to go to Studio 2. October 18th, Studio 1 entrance. Hey, Nick. It looks like Detective Gumshoe isn't here today. You're right. He's probably up to his neck in paperwork after all the commotion in today's trial. So, Nick, remember that Studio 2 we heard about at the trial? It's down that path with the fallen tree, right? Yeah, I think that's where they said. Maybe the director and the rest of them are there today? Now's our chance, Nick. Let's go check it out. Alright, well, yeah, let's move to Studio number 2. See, we got a van and a little old burner stove right there. A couple plates on the table. Studio 2 entrance. This is Studio 2? I thought so. Doesn't really look much like a studio, though, does it? No, that it doesn't. Hey, there's a trailer over here. It looks pretty sturdy for a movie set trailer. Are we sure this is the studio? Alright, let's examine things real quick. Alright, let's take a look at these little fence posts here. There's some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. Right, what about the windows? Closer inspection, the trailer looks like it's been here for a while. I don't think this is the part of some temporary film set. Okay. What about the plates? Looks like 2 people ate here. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks here too. What is it with steaks around here? Hey, there's always room for steak. But something does seem out of place. What? I don't know. It just feels odd. Alright, what about that old incinerator? Incinerator? Apparently they just put this one in. So it's not old, it's new. Okay. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it very much. Okay, the van. A light van for moving around staff and equipment. They keep it in pretty good shape. Looks like it run fine. Well, let's go for a drive. Sure, if I had a license. Nick, you don't have a driver's license? No, but look, I have this. Why are you showing me your attorney's badge, Nick? I missed this game. Yep, sign up there. It says Studio number 2. Big 2 painted here. Probably because this is Studio 2. Probably. Though it doesn't look anything like a studio. Okay, that's everything over here, so let's move to the next spot. Some materials for making a movie set. Sitting there for quite some time. Might as well be a junkyard. Okay. So I guess all I have to examine is the door. Nick, let's go inside. You think it's okay? Oh well, it's locked. Oh, shucks. Okay, now let's check out the window again. Close inspection, looks like it's been here for a while. Not part of a temporary film set. Okay. Does this number 2 do anything? Big 2 painted on the panel. Yeah, Studio number 2. Okay. Trailer looks like it's been for... Okay. Nothing to examine, so let's move. I think we can go back to Studio 1 for a little bit. Let's actually go to the employee area, see if we can find anything. Or, let's go inside the studio, because... Didn't it say that there was the drains over the employee area? October 18th, Studio 1. I don't really want to be in here. Yeah, there's a murder scene. I want to go someplace else. Nick? Well, let's examine a little bit first. What about this camera? Nicer than any camera I have. Wow, look at the camera. It almost cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Hey, smile, Nick. You're a star. Stop that! Okay, yeah, let's move. In that case, if there's nothing here. Outside Studio 1. So let's go to the employee area if we can. Yeah, because they said... Yeah, alright, here we go. Global Studios employee area. Look, it's that assistant girl. Hey. Hey, Penny. Hi, WP's lawyers, right? I heard about the trial. Great job, guys. Oh? Don't mention it. It's true they caught the security lady? Actually, she just called me. She told me to cover up that drain. You mean that one? Wow, what a mess. I know. I'm not so good with handiwork. Some assistant, right? Yeah, but you do work on the props and the backdrops, right? Right. Just, a lot of times they end up looking worse than they did before I fixed them. Oh? Oh. Well, I'm sure that these things happen. Nothing to worry yourself about. You're right, I won't. Personally, I think she would worry at least a little bit more. If you'll excuse me, I have to go to the guard station. I'm supposed to fill in for Miss Oldbag. Right, we'll see you there then. Good luck with your investigation. Alright, let's examine this room. Scraps of steak. Remains of the other day's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on the plates minus the steak. Doesn't that strike you as odd, though? Because the other plates had, like, nothing else left on them. Let's examine this little drain here. So the fanboy they were talking about the trial today came in through that drain? So it seems. I guess they covered it up in a hurry. Hey, Nick. If that drain's covered, that boy won't be able to get in. Yeah, I think that was the idea. I feel kind of sorry for him, though, don't you? What, you want to rip the grate off? Really, Nick? We can? Whoa, she's serious? Uh-oh. Yeah, let's let him back in, just in case. Well, I guess some things are just made to be broken. Yay, you know, Nick, you're pretty swell sometimes. Sometimes. Oh, yeah. There, that should make kids happy. The things we do. Alright, what's that door back there? Storage room, film equipment. Okay. Wait, no, that's not what I meant to examine. Okay, there we go. Sign on the door for Will Powers. Okay, can we move to the dressing room? Yeah, because he said the Steel Samurai costume's off in the corner. October 18th, Global Studios dressing room. This is where the Steel Samurai costume was on the day of the murder. That's what Mr. Powers said, at least. I guess they snuck in and took it while he was sleeping. But Nick, what if Mr. Powers hadn't been sleeping? I wonder what the killer was planning on doing then. Huh, she's got a point. Well, let's take a look around. Little tea set here. Snacks on the table must be given to the employees. Tea and cookies. Wait, Nick, what now? These snacks, they're past their expiration date. Then don't eat them. They're snacks, they're meant to be... Now, let's take a look at the costumes in the back. Some regular suits, some modern costumes, Mr. Power's personal clothings. Okay. What's this bag down here? Mr. Power's bag. I wonder what's inside. Hey, supermarket tabloids. Wow, I'm kind of shocked. Maya, leave those alone. Wolfman found on Mars? I'll have to buy that issue later. And what about this wig here? I did see some big wigs were at the studio. Cosmetics finished here. According to Maya, that's the wig used in some old TV show. Samurai Boogie Woogie. Explain to me how you can identify it just by the wig. Yeah, she likes samurai movies. Okay. Now, Powers was sleeping right here, so... maybe he did take a nap. Well, what about that window? It's locked. Don't open the window much, it's kind of dusty. Okay. So, nothing else to examine. So, let's move back to the employee area. Let's examine that drain just once. Drain grate is off, and I know who did it. And the kids will be able to come inside again. Don't you feel great about that good deed? Must be nice to live so free of guilt. Yeah. Guess we're just gotta wait till that kid shows back up. Let's go to the main gate. Oh, hey Penny. Oh, hello. Oh, you look a little out of place. It's these clothes, isn't it? I thought my camo vest might do the trick. Kind of an alternative guard fashion thing. Well, let's talk for a little bit. What do you have to say? What about the fanboy? What about him? Do kids sneak in here a lot? Well, I don't think that there's that many of them, but I do see one in particular a bunch. He's always gawking at the set, snapping pictures. You should see old Windbag's eyes flash when she sees him. She has had a bit of trouble catching him though. Alright, what about the studios? So, how are the studios doing? There's police wandering around here, everywhere. It's terrible. They won't even let me clean up. Don't want me disturbing the evidence. Well, that means you get to take a day off then. I haven't even cleaned up our plates from lunch on the day of the murder. You mean those plates with the T-bone steaks left over on them in the employee area? Yeah, can you believe it? Okay, what about the director? I heard something in the trial today. They said that the director and the producer were here the day of the murder. Oh, sorry. I was in the prop storage room, so I didn't see them. I guess they were here, though. The studio head seemed pretty eager to keep us quiet. So they were trying to protect the director? More the producer, really. The producer's our real star here. He saved the studios from the brink of disaster and kept them running. I don't think we'd still be in business if it weren't for that producer. The producer, huh? Alright, well now we gotta find that producer. Actually, let's present some evidence to you. No, not the guide map. This photo. Could you take a look at this? That's Mr. Powers. Why is he dragging his leg like that? What is this anyway? Looks like she didn't know about the photo or the injury that morning. Never mind. Okay. What about the samurai spear? Say, you work with props, right? About that murder weapon. You mean the samurai spear? Yeah, it's a prop, but it's still pretty heavy. How are you having to carry the thing around? So you'd have to be pretty strong to use it as a weapon, it sounds like. Why is Mr. Powers the only one I can think of? Okay, what about this guide map? Not really sure what that is, sorry. You don't know what a map of your own studio is? What about the card key? We found that in the dressing room. They give the lawyers one of those card keys? Well, I'm sort of borrowing it. I see. You better be careful not to lose that. They're very strict about those card keys here. I guess they're pretty good about keeping these out of outsiders' hands. Thanks, I'll be careful. Okay, I think that's all I can present to her, so let's move along. Back to the law offices, I suppose? No? Okay. Well, let's go back to the studio and let's see if we can find somebody else. Let's check out Studio 2. Studio 2 entrance. This place is deserted. Crash, what was that? Eek! Nick! What was that noise? Sounded like it came from inside the trailer. Someone must be inside. Hello? No answer. Pretty suspicious if you ask me, Nick. Let's go in. I'm not sure we should just be barging in. Huh? It's locked. What? We don't have a key? No. There's probably one in the guard station at the main gate. Then what are we waiting for? Let's borrow it. If they'll let us. Actually, no, it's let's examine the guard station. Computer that runs security cameras. Well, it looks like it's turned off. Okay. Guard station itself. Maybe the van? Studio van. Okay. The security guard station. See the computer and see the security cameras. Oh, please don't touch anything in there. The security lady would knock the stuffing out of me if she knew. I really want the key to that trailer. Maybe next time? Okay, what can I do then? Can I talk to her about this? No? Maybe I'll wait for her to come back. No? What do I do? Alright, let's try going back to Studio 2 and see if that gives us anything. No? I wonder what it could be then. Well, I don't know how to get the key, so we're just going to figure that out next time, because this episode's been going on long enough. So yeah, we heard a crash from inside the studio number 2, and we're going to have to go get the key from the guard station before we can actually get inside and figure out what's going on. So we'll figure that out next time. This has been Blade Cross EXE, part of Flashy Blades Productions. Thank you all so much for watching, and tune in next time. Peace out.
Objection!